All things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Derrial Christon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I am your host, Derrial Christon, and here joining me is Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
And DJ Jesse J.
What's up?
Our show today has a lot of topics, including Malcolm X's daughter says white people can use the N-word.
Hey.
Kenya Moore and Vivica Fox battle it out.
Word.
And we have new updates on Bobbi Kristina and all the drama surrounding her in the hospital. But first, I want to read the results from last week's buzzer meter question, which was, Stevie Wonder helped make what national holiday? We gave you three options. A was Memorial Day, B was Black History Month, and C was MLK Day. And you guys voted, and you gave C, MLK Day, at 58%, which was the right answer.
Woo-woo.
So you guys know your Black history.
Some of y'all did.
Or some of y'all did anyway.
Oh, y'all were guessing.
Y'all were guessing. Yes, that's very good. And we're celebrating Black History Month this month and also Valentine's Day weekend. So hopefully you guys you got any plans?
No.
I'm sorry. I see a
I'll
rose.
be
Who's the
at the
rose boy?
farmer's
Not for
market.
me.
I'll probably be eating chocolate. I do that every year.
I'll eat chocolate on Sunday because it'll be on sale.
Well,
Oh, you do the 50% off the next day sale?
I'm not
I ain't
mad.
mad at you.
I better have C's chocolate when I get home.
Although honestly, there's CVS by me that everything already on sale. They starting to sell
They
Easter.
sell it, the day before.
Easter candy.
Oh, well, yeah.
Dang.
All
Time
right.
flies. But this lovely rose is from a very, very thoughtful young lady by the name of Alexa. She's in the booth, and she's the sweetest.
Love her.
Alexa's our engineer. We love her.
Thanks.
All right, our buzz meter question for today is, what musical legend has the most Grammy nominations?
Ooh, that's a goodie.
This is a good one. All right, A is Stevie Wonder, B is Quincy Jones, C is Michael Jackson, and D is our Lady Beyonce. You guys vote, and we will read those results next week.
And maybe if you guys check out our show called The Beat, you
might
might
know.
find that answer.
Check it out.
A
Check
little
it out.
Quick way to cheat.
Cross-promotion.
Quick way to cheat as well.
It's not
Yes.
cheating, it's learning.
It's research.
It's research. You're right. All right. Well, let's move on to the trending topics with DJ Jesse J.
So Twitter went ham this week. You might have seen a hashtag Chapel Hill shooting.
Yes.
Crazy.
Well, so 3 American students were shot to death in North Carolina. Apparently, Chapel Hill police told the news outlets that Craig Stephen Hicks, 46 years old, was arrested and charged with killing the 3 kids who were Muslim. There's an investigation going on saying that this crime was motivated over a parking space. And also that our little Mr. Craig here might have a little hate towards Muslims. They're doing investigation that hasn't even come out yet. It's just something that they're looking at as possibly being the case. Now, I've heard it was very interesting that you spoke about before the show. His wife said something about.
Yeah, so I was looking at the news and also reading a report on the story, which is sad all the way around because obviously the 3 victims, 2 of them were married, and then one was a sister who was visiting. But the ex-wife of the killer, or the shooter, she said that her husband's favorite movie was Falling Down, which was a movie with Michael Douglas from 1993 where Michael Douglas' character goes on a shooting rampage. So she said that her husband, or ex-husband, would watch this movie and laugh during this movie and thought that the movie was hilarious. And she said he had really no emotion, or empathy kind of in the movie. So she, I think she dodged a bullet also by not being with him anymore. But, that's kind of crazy. And it, you just when you start to see things like this happen and you look back at the facts that lead up to it, I think that might be a fact that is definitely a great point.
Something that comes up.
Yeah.
And it's funny, one of the daughters had been kind of warning the parents that this man had some sort of hatred towards them, and nothing had really kind of come from that. His daughter also reported that he had a gun in his waistband more than one time, too, which in North Carolina, I mean, you would have to have a license for that, right?
I think you have to have a license to carry in every state.
Open.
Yeah.
And it has to be in a whole, like a thing, right?
I'm not sure, but Yeah, I would assume he has some kind of license to have a gun.
So Twitter got upset basically because, well, no one kind of really cared. It wasn't really breaking news story. People were a little upset by the fact that this had happened, and the news really wasn't on top of it. Like,
They did not get on it until like the next day. It was like half a day, almost a full day before they reported it on like major national news level.
And so people are saying, you know, is it because Americans feel some sort of way about Muslims? Is it because police officers feel some sort of way? Is it because the media portrays them some sort of way? Do we have a stink on the Muslim community, would you say?
I mean, sure, there could be something there, but I also think if you really think about some of these stories of black African American men that have been killed, a lot of those haven't made news headlines.
Yeah.
It's just people are get upset and they start protesting or they start making them news, but initially the news doesn't pick up half of the stories of African American men who are getting killed. So sure, it could be something there, but there's plenty of stories that don't make the news until people start fighting about it.
Because that's what at first, when I realized what was happening, it was on Twitter. I was like, what is this? And I started reading, and people were so angry. I can't believe CNN, 17 hours, you covered Kim K's haircut in like 5 minutes, but you don't cover this like right away. And I was reading, so I was thinking that when I saw Chapel Hill, I thought he went to the campus of UNC, and that's how these 3 people ended up shot. I did not realize they weren't actually on a school campus. So at first I was like, how dare they not cover it? Another like campus shooting. But when I realized it wasn't that, I was like, to assume that the news like just didn't want to cover it, possibly because they were Muslim, I think that's a little bit of a stretch because people are shot every day and it's not covered. So, but whether or not there was it's an actual hate crime and like that's going back and forth, I don't know, like, because most reports about him is that he was an atheist, so he hated he didn't agree with any religion. It wasn't specifically Islam. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what works out. It's tragic all the way around.
Well, they are checking his computer. I know that they confiscated that. And what makes this story even more sad is that the guy victim, his name is Shadi Barakat. Apparently he had just graduated dental school? Going in dental school.
I think he was going into dental school.
But they had planned a trip, he and his wife, who was also killed, to Turkey this summer, and they were going to give free dental work to children and people who couldn't afford it. And now he started initially, before his death, he had started a website, kind of a fundraising website to raise money to go to Turkey. And they said that it started off with, I think, like $20,000, and since his death, it's gone up to $250,000. So hopefully they can put that money to great use. I mean, it's a tragedy all the way around.
Things. Sad.
So Craig's being held with no bail. His hearing date is March 4th. So I guess, and the craziest thing about this to me is that when they explained the charges to him, he said, "I understand."
It's crazy.
Well,
I mean, he shot him.
They
in
always
the head,
give the black man the crazy rap, but angry white men scare me the most.
I mean, that man looks scary. He looks like a character off Mario Kart.
Yeah, he does. All right.
All right. So I was like, Black History Month, and I was just, online surfboard, and I came across TMZ. They talked to Malcolm X's daughter. I ain't gonna even try and say her name.
Give it a try.
Ayasha Shabazz.
Shabazz. I don't know how Ayasha. I'm not sure how to say the first name.
So she was asked if she believes if it's ridiculous that white people are not allowed to use the N-word. They said, "Do you listen to rap at all?" She said, "Yes, I do." "Do you cringe when they drop the N-word?" She says, "I think it's just ridiculous. Sometimes I think it is. I think it's a bit ridiculous." Well, they asked her, "What do you think about white people singing along with the N-bomb?" She said, "I mean, I think if we're going to use it, I don't know that you can. If you're going to use it, then everybody should be able to use it. So if you don't like it, other people using it, then we shouldn't use it." Great statement.
I mean, listen, it's our argument that we've argued about several times on this show. We cannot expect someone else not to use the word if we're using it in our music and we use it in our everyday dialogue. We are influencing. We are known as a race that influences other cultures. Music just influences cultures regardless. So if we're going to use it to the masses, what do you expect? You can't get mad and say, no, only you African Americans can say this, but no one else can. So go ahead, Ms. Shabazz. I'm with you.
Right. She went on to talk about that she feels that Americans don't celebrate her father's legacy enough.
I agree with that.
Talking about maybe him getting a day.
That'd be cool.
She did say, though, which was interesting, she did say that she thought that the generation now respects him, is getting a little more respect for him as far as learning what he was actually doing. And one thing that I really liked about her that she said, she came out to say, he made a significant impact around the world when people weren't even traveling. She said, and that he wasn't traveling for vacation, but he was traveling because he was searching for solutions to the human condition that would oppress its fellow brother and sister. I thought that was really an interesting thing, because we see a lot of celebrities and whatnot, you know, doing a lot of traveling, promotion, and here is someone who wasn't focused on that aspect of it, but he was traveling and doing good things, and that's how he became who he is, off of his good work.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cute little situation. A little stop with TMZ.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I mean, I'm glad that
Go
TMZ...
TMZ for knowing who she was.
I was going to say,
I was
congratulations to TMZ.
Really?
And not
And
just,
having a good
Great dialogue.
a great dialogue, and not just covering baby Northwest crying at the fashion show in New York. You know what I mean? So that's
TMZ
great.
again shows they're our actual news source.
Shout out Harvey. Harvey.
But did you see she was a little like weirded out by him at first? Like,
Yeah.
what are y'all gonna really try and say? It was like a legit conversation.
It was
Right,
like
it was a real
It
conversation.
was like an intelligent
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there you go,
Shout out.
TMZ.
It's not all about pop culture.
Sure isn't. But hey, maybe you like pop culture just as much as I do, like Real Housewives of
Hey.
Atlanta. Make sure you guys check out our sister site, AfterBuzzTV.com. Whatever your favorite TV show is, as soon as it's done, check out AfterBuzzTV.com right after, and we will be talking about it.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. And we're going to be
that was
talking some more about gossip with Courtney Stewart.
Gossip, gossip, gossip. Guess who's back in gossip? Kenya Moore. Okay, so
Go figure.
all you Celebrity Apprentice fans, there was another
I am.
round this week. Some old people got kicked off, and unfortunately, Vivica Fox had to fit farewell. She had to go.
Can we talk about that real quickly?
Real quick.
How did you feel about Vivica kind of cutting herself off?
I mean, I never like that per se, but I mean, I think who's supposed to be there is still there.
But
I think it should be between Lisa and Geraldo, even though Geraldo's like.
I think Lisa should win.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do too.
honestly,
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed.
she's been solid throughout the whole thing. But I will say that after watching Celebrity Apprentice this season, it has made me have a whole new love for Vivica Fox, though.
Yes,
I mean,
agreed.
I have
Yes.
so much love for that woman. I actually started tweeting her during the show. That's how much love I have for Vivica after that fight with her in Kenya. I was like, you stood
I
your
can't.
ground.
You know, with Kenya, she kind of lost me a little bit with Real Housewives, and then on this show, I loved her.
loved
But
it.
that phone thing.
Yeah, the phone thing.
So.
What's happening now?
I mean, okay, so basically, we already kind of talked, I guess, about like the phone thing. Basically, Kenya on the show stole her phone and tweeted some unkind things and denied that she ever took the phone. Kenya continues to deny that she took the phone. Even in her after interview, she was on the Wendy show and did a few other press options, and she continues to say, absolutely not, I didn't do that, blah,
Do
blah,
you
blah.
think?
It's really funny, right? Okay, so, yeah, I think she did it.
Yeah.
I try to find some
listen,
sort of
'Cause
like.
well, the part of me says, like, there's no, she's a
too grown
grown
for that.
woman. Who does that? Like, who does that? But then at the same time, it was like,
That one day, that same thing.
And
that
how do
one
you
text.
know word for word exactly what this text was?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can think of text, but I don't know the exact wording.
yeah.
As I'm
she
trying
did
to
it.
argue in a conference room with Donald Trump about why I
Yeah.
should stay. Like, it was just very strategic.
And at first, like, okay, so when she got kicked off, I was like, okay. And then she's on, I'm talking about Kenya right now, and she went on her interviews. I
Good
was
morning,
like, okay, you gave us good TV, and you're still cracking the
Right.
joke. She called Vivica Maleficent and, like, went into this whole thing. And I was like, okay, Katie, you doing the shade. I'm laughing, great. But then comes Vivica. She got kicked off. She did her round. She was at HuffPost Live. She was on The Wendy Show.
Yeah.
On The Wendy Show, can I just say, like, Vivica, okay, so on Celebrity Apprentice, Vivica had a few moments that I was like, okay, can y'all not be the ratchet black girls yelling and cussing at each other?
I know.
And, like,
I know,
I was like, ugh.
I know.
But when she came on Wendy, she really served, like, queen black woman that Kenya is on some other stuff. I am not on that stuff. Yes, she is trifling, but she really put Kenya in her place.
Yeah.
She did it eloquently. She did it very like, girl, I'm doing what I'm doing, you doing what you doing, and you could never do what I do. Yeah. And it was just really, really well done. So I was like, okay, Vivica, I'm back on your team. But basically, in the end, she made a few comments about Kenya. One of them being that, you know, she's known Kenya a very long time, apparently. She's pretty much known Kenya since Kenya won Miss America or Miss USA or whatever. And she said that Kenya then is definitely not the Kenya now, and that desperate times have called for desperate measures, which was that dig, but the dig that you're like, oh, that's real, that's real, that's real. And she said desperate times calls for desperate measures, and she has been taught that her, you know, fame and money is going to come from her bad behavior.
Yeah, she was saying she's applauded for bad behavior.
She's applauded for bad behavior, which is true. Like, her being dramatic and ridiculous and stupid and shady and all of that has put her on the map now, because who was talking about Kenya Moore? Nobody. And who was hiring Kenya Moore for anything? Nobody. So anyway, Vivica basically was the very like eloquent mom, like, I'm 50 and what? And she looked great.
She did. She did.
Her face, because I'm one of those people that was really mad at Vivica for all the things that it looked like she did to her face, but maybe she just got a better makeup artist. But when she was on her press after the show, her makeup, her face looked great. It was like old Vivica was back, and it wasn't scary Vivica. So
yeah, and I interviewed her at the NBC TCAs like about a month ago, or not, about 3 weeks ago, and she looked good. I mean, you should check that interview out on BlackHollywoodLive.com on YouTube. But she looked really good. You know, I was a little nervous to see what she was going to look like because of all the reports and sometimes the way they have her looking on camera.
We were like, what is she doing to her face? She was gorgeous. Like, she didn't need to do anything, but it didn't look like it has been looking.
Yeah,
so,
and to Vivica's defense, maybe she has some new things done to kind of help the old stuff. But to Vivica's defense as well, you know, I agree with you, Courtney. When I first saw the part of the two black women on national TV, this show in front of the Trumps acting crazy, I cringe. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this is representing who we are as a people. But on the flip side of that, I can't be mad at Vivica because sometimes somebody just pushes your buttons and you know where you just come out of yourself and you just can't take it anymore. Yeah. And Kenya fought low. The things that she was saying were very low, and I can't say that I was sitting in that boardroom and you say something about me the way that she said about, you know, Vivica, even though it's totally different because it's about plastic surgery and things. But to cut that low on national TV in front of the Trumps, I can't say I wouldn't come out of myself either.
Yeah, I mean, and I am happy that Donald noticed.
He did.
What was really going on here. But Kenya gave herself away in that whole situation because before they went in the boardroom, she said, but that's okay because I have one more trick up my sleeve.
She did, yeah.
So, Kenya.
Well, you know, listen.
I don't know.
That's what she's getting a check for, so that's what she is.
You gave us some good TV.
It was good TV.
She's giving good TV. Good reality TV is what she's giving.
I guess. All right, moving on. This rumor, I really think it's just a rumor, but whatever. Okay, so Radar Online was reporting that basically The View was very upset and stressed out and so over the bickering between Whoopi and Rosie and like the discontent at the table that they were going to fire Whoopi, but then they got shocked or surprised because Rosie resigned. So that once Rosie resigned, they couldn't fire Whoopi. So they were very, very upset.
Hold up,
they had to keep her.
I'm lost. Rosie O'Donnell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell was resigned. Yes.
Yeah, because she's going through a divorce.
She's going through a divorce. She's having some health issues
Yeah.
and stresses too much, and she's trying to protect her heart because she's had a heart condition. And
she said she wants to spend more time with her family.
And she wants to spend time with her daughter. She's
Probably
a baby.
the best thing for that show.
Which is interesting because, I mean, but she resigned, but like she resigned.
Yeah.
Like she gave a 1 week notice.
Yeah.
Like she resigned last weekend and her last day was Thursday.
Yeah, it was quick. And actually they're saying also that her agents were pissed because I think her publicist made the final call based off of what Rosie wanted, but the agents wanted the agents were trying to work it out and say, hey, maybe she could still do both, and maybe you just work a little bit less, we'll figure it out. And then they were also saying something about her being a hypocrite because she always promotes about women can handle multitudes of things in life, that anything that it throws at you, and then they're saying, well, you're kind of a quitter. So,
I kind of, it's just weird to me. Like, I'm not judging Rosie, like, go do, and in fact, maybe it is the stronger move to be like, you know what, I can't handle it. It's too much, and it's affecting my health, and it's affecting my family, and I'm going to leave. So maybe that is the stronger move. But then it's like, okay, apparently she was separated from her boo back in, like, November.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just started in September. Like, were there no signs that this was happening? Like, why did you even sign on to come back at all?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But, I mean, I guess you think, like, it'll get better or we'll figure it out. And it wasn't getting figured out. It was getting worse. So, bye, Rosie
Get rid of
O'Donnell.
Whoopi. Whoopi's the best thing on.
I was going to say,
Yeah, I
that's
was
why I
like-
feel like that's a rumor. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, when I read it, I was like, how can they get rid of Whoopi? I mean, she's legendary on the show. You know what I mean? She is the show to me.
Yeah.
And they were saying because of the bickering, like you were saying, because of the bickering, that's why they wanted to let Whoopi go.
Then
I'm
you
like,
get
but that's
Rosie.
what your ratings are for. That's what you get ratings for, the bickering.
Well, they were talking about the bickering behind the scenes, that it's like
okay.
like causing problem because I'm not going to do this, or I want to talk about this, or I'm sure the producers are like over it. But I don't necessarily know that would be Whoopi as much as it would be Rosie causing issue, because Rosie is very about what she wants to be about, and
we haven't heard this problem with Whoopi and all these other
Right.
guys.
And let's keep it 100. They can't fire the Latina and the black.
Right. We ain't going all the way back to the first
Right.
round.
I mean, that would be the people with. If they
Even
talk
the
about the
first
ratings
one
going
had
down,
It
the
had Star
ratings.
Jones in it.
Oh,
No,
yeah, did it?
it didn't have
You
an
couldn't
Asian
leave the
star.
blonde chick and Rosie
Asian came
O'Donnell
later.
left on the show.
Jones did.
Yeah, because we had Debbie, we had the Greek, Debbie
yeah.
Matnopoulos.
Oh, right. Debbie,
But one thing that's really kind of weird now is, okay, Rosie Perez still ain't there.
Well,
Where
they're saying
she at?
she's
She's supposed
still.
to come back.
She came back for like a show and then she's gone again. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they just really need to go ahead and give up. Because, like, today it was Whoopi.
I'll be on the show.
I know, I'll do it. Can I do
Shit.
it? Nicole.
Get
her
us
name's
up there.
Nicole, right? The blonde.
Yeah,
Okay,
Nicole. Yeah, Nicole.
And then it was Michelle Williams again and Stacey London.
Yeah.
Which I like Stacey London, but I'm like,
Michelle Williams, like Michelle Williams.
oh yeah, like
Destiny's
Destiny's
Child, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Destiny's
How
Child.
is she on that?
She's okay.
She's okay.
Cute.
Actually,
She
she
has
had a couple.
personality.
She had a.
She's good
She was actually
personality.
better than I thought she would be on the
Yeah.
show. To be honest
She
with
would be
you.
a good look for
Yeah.
it.
She
I'm
was-
not mad.
I ain't mad at her.
But I feel like they're auditioning like constantly. Like
Yeah.
this whole last like 3 months of The View has been auditions for everybody, and
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. Like we already saw that, like
Last-
leading into knowing that these other people are leaving. I'm over it. Like I want who's gonna be there, and I want
Make it
them to
work.
serve. Like give me some good View.
Yeah.
Boom.
You need to hire me. I do it.
I also think they need some young,
They do need somebody young.
fresh out of college, or maybe still in college.
See, I don't
even.
think that young.
See, I do, because I think they need that voice. I think that the bring in the views that they want, and that's going to argue. That's going to set some
Then it
some
competes
I
arguments
think like
between.
little
late
too much.
20s.
Yeah.
I think like somebody that's
Like
been
a bu-
working for a while, like because even when they had like, well, Debbie didn't last very long and she was like fresh off the boat. But when Lisa Ling and stuff came on, like she was like later 20s. She had been working for a while and sort
Yeah.
of established. Like The View is supposed to be the mature version, and I still think like, but still I was watching it in high school, like even with Lisa Ling on it. So I think they skew.
It's relatable.
It's relatable
Right.
as long as there's somebody like in their later 20s. But I mean, somebody fresh out of college, I don't.
like
buy
Naya
it.
Rivera was just weird for me.
Well, you know how I feel about that, because she's.
See, and I wasn't even that
about
mad
the
at Naya
bath-
Rivera.
about taking the
But
showers,
she's like
so-
what, 26?
Yeah.
on
No,
there.
she's older than that.
Is she?
She's got to be. Listen, her real age.
She's
listen,
26.
Yeah.
Is that what IMDb says, or is that what
Why
the
do
birth
you think
certificate
she's
says?
old? Why do you think
I
she's
just feel like
that
she's
old?
older than that, like 29, 30. I feel like she is.
No, I'm pretty sure she's like mid 20s because she was a kid when Glee started. Like they were
Alright.
young.
I'm about to find that birth certificate.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You too
all
old
right.
for Derrial, honey.
Sorry.
Apparently, what he's saying about the rest of us.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
See, put me on blast.
Wait,
see?
no, Derrial, you might be right. She's 28.
She gives me a little bit more mature than 26. I'll just say that.
Okay.
She got them new titties. You were like, oh, you grown.
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right.
That's The View, and
Well,
we'll see
we'll
who's
see
on
what
there
happens.
next week.
Right. Who knows?
Because it's somebody new every day.
Somebody new. But speaking of new, if you want to see some of our new episodes of Black Hollywood Live, you should go to iTunes, look up Black Hollywood Live, give us a rating, comment. We have this month, we're doing a promotion where we are featured as one of the top headers on the iTunes station. So you can find us very easily. Just type in Black Hollywood Live, give us a rating. We have a variety of different shows. We've got The Beat, we have Fashion 401,
Fashion.
we have Portraits, we have
Next. Geek
Stand Up,
Nerd
Sit
Tech.
Down, Geek Nerd Tech, Fashion 411.
Learn about it all.
Learn about it all. Go to our website also as well for Black Hollywood Live. You can look up our shows there. But definitely go to iTunes and give us a rating and comment and let us know what you think. All right, on to the EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight. Spotlight of the Week.
Well, this story has been in the news this week, and it is just making me look at
mess.
journalism in a whole new different way.
Hot mess.
Brian Williams, who is a veteran on NBC Nightly News, I mean, we've all watched him for years. This week, he received a 6-month suspension because he had lied about coverage that he did in Iraq stemming from 2003. Williams said he was traveling in a helicopter that was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade. But after being questioned by a veteran who was actually involved with the incident, Williams revamped his statement. He actually confessed that he wasn't actually in the helicopter that got hit, but he was in a helicopter behind it that was 30 minutes behind the one that actually got hit by the grenade.
Yes, he did.
Yes, NBC launched an internal investigation, and he is on suspension, and they're saying that he probably is not going to be back, and they're saying it's probably going to kill his career. He started with NBC back in 1993, I believe, and they also are questioning some of the other things that there's some other stories that have popped up today that I saw that they're questioning as well. One being that Williams said that he was flying into Iraq with the SEAL Team 6, which was responsible for carrying out the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. He's saying that he was a part of that, and now they're questioning if that's the truth. They said that he was in Berlin the day that the Berlin Wall fell in 1989. They're questioning that. They also are wondering about the fact that he said he met the Pope at his university, which is Catholic University in Washington, D.C. in 1979. He has this whole story about shaking his hand and meeting the Secret Service and how this whole thing went down, and now they're saying they don't know if that's true.
Lies. All lies.
All lies. This changes journalism to another account. Dateline host Lester Holt, who has been pretty significant on the network as well, has filled the role for Williams on the Nightly News. As I mentioned, Williams is expected not to return, and as I mentioned also that he had started in 1993, but he started with the Nightly News in 2004. So does this make you trust NBC and media and broadcast any less?
It awkwardly kind of doesn't shock me.
Nope, not at all.
Because it shocked me.
I mean, it shocks me too a little bit because it's just like, I don't know, I talk about this all the time over at AfterBuzzTV.com. If you're in the entertainment industry, it's really crazy to me that you can create certain types of lies because everything about you is going to come out.
Right.
Your job is talking about things and people. And when that's your job, people are usually going to look into you.
Your background. I agree.
So that's why I always say I leave my cabinets open. You know what I mean? I have to deal with the issues and the problems.
You are who you are.
You know what I mean? Like, I have to deal with the issues and the problems as they come along. But it's like, I mean, sir, like, to make up a story about you shaking the Pope's hand, like, you are a well-established, you know what I mean, journalist. Like, you have, I'm sure, had many different opportunities and amazing people that you've met. Why are we making up like a story you got bombed out of the sky? Like, that's a serious thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're joking about death. It's kind of even a little bit of mockery. But I mean, it's not shocking to me. It really isn't, because I can just imagine half of these personalities out there.
But see, here's the thing. Well, Courtney, I want to hear your opinion in 2 seconds. Let me throw this part in about what he just said. You said personality. See, to me, it is shocking because he's not a personality to me. He is a correspondent. He is someone who is a news correspondent, someone who I look to get correct information. I look at NBC to obtain correct information. So it's different than a TV personality, a reality person, or whatever who's delivering the news. He is a credible, legitimate journalist.
Is he?
Well, clearly not. But
Makes me think twice about Geraldo.
It's crazy to me that I would be too paranoid personally to even want to say lies about major events like that. I mean, sure, you may lie about your age, you may lie about a party you went to or something like that, but to say you were in a helicopter, that a grenade hit, and that you were part of a SEAL team that picked up, that killed Osama bin Laden, and you have collectibles from it. And that's not true. Like, there's people around who can confirm or not confirm that. So that's, to me, he's a scary liar, because that's like is there something else? What else are you lying
What
about? I
else
wouldn't
are you
trust
lying about?
anything that he
Yeah.
has to say.
You told that on national
National
television.
TV
Yeah.
several times. They said the
Yeah,
Osama
he
bin
told
Laden
the story to
was
like Letterman,
yeah,
and then he told it to
several
somebody.
times.
Like it's just whatever. Like Jesse, I wasn't surprised. I was disappointed. Like, well, if nothing ever made you believe news is a hoax in this country now, that should. Because in the end, like, I try to like think about like, why would he do this? Because like you said, there's people that can corroborate it and say that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, why would he do this? And how does NBC not know? And the only thing I could come up with is that news has become sensationalized because it has to be about ratings and it's about money.
Yeah.
So I don't think that NBC was completely unaware of what was happening and, oh my God, our person just lied on. I think they probably were okay and kind of wanting him to like up the ante a little bit.
Embellish those stories.
Embellish those stories so that, you know, the listeners are like, oh my God, he was what? And they want to hear and they want to know. And it's sad because that only further proves that we cannot trust our news sources at all. Go to TMZ.
Go to TMZ because they clearly no, seriously, the voice of the millennials.
Absolutely
clearly
awful.
we're getting right. Like Harvey is doing his thing over there.
It's absolutely
So,
awful. Like, and I hope, and if he comes back, like, first of all, the whole idea that there's like,
He can't
it's
come
a
back after this.
suspension, and they're like considering,
For
like,
6 months.
There's
give
no
me
way.
a break. He should have been fired. Right, like it should have just been done.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no way he can come back from
unless
this.
you're gonna like honestly say, as NBC News, we're not really a news source. We're more like entertaining news.
Right.
So that's
But
what
they're
we're
not
here
gonna-
for.
they're
But
not
they're not
gonna
gonna
do
do
that.
that. So don't front and
Yeah.
try to be and pretend like you are an exceptional news source when your lead reporter and your managing editor
Yeah.
is embellishing stories for obviously for entertainment purposes, because there's no the whole like, oh, he didn't totally remember, it was like 12 years ago.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Bullshit.
You don't remember if
You
a
don't remember
missile
getting
hit your
shot down in a helicopter.
That's
in
something you don't
Blair.
forget. Yeah.
Not only I'm so glad that it was the military personnel that called him out on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Well,
I'm
you,
so
well, you
glad.
also have to hear the audio of the. Go to the audio. If anyone hasn't heard it yet, it's him being interviewed. They have it on tape, and he stutters so many times during
I
this
wouldn't
audio.
wanna hear that. That would give me
I mean,
anxiety.
and, you know, he's always, you know, Brian's always put together,
Yeah.
and even news sources were saying how, like, you know, he's always like this, and then this one he was like, let me think,
I
you
mean,
know.
damn, you've had how many years to think about the story? At least you should have did some research
Well, you know what
on it.
happens
Why,
when you're
honey,
lying, you
why?
forget about your lies. You know what I mean?
Why?
That's why they
So-
say don't pose, because one day you'll forget the pose.
Right. Damn.
Boo.
All right.
Going back to Connecticut with your
Bye,
$50 million fortune.
Yeah. Well, for more of that story, go to erweb.com.
He was making $10 million a year.
$10 million a
boo.
year, and he's the father, if you didn't know, of Allison Williams, who's
Yes,
on Girls.
on Girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
Yeah, he's making a whole lot of
He's
money.
the father of Allison?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
father of Allison. Yeah.
Oh, all right, Brian.
Jesse learning new stuff every
Jesse's
day.
learning new
He's like,
stuff, and we are not NBC. But
Damn,
we
y'all.
love NBC.
I can just
We love
imagine how
NBC.
y'all at home are feeling. I'm sitting up here like,
I wish I wonder what Alice is like. Dad, damn.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. All right, moving on to our final story of
my
the
last
day.
name.
This has also been in the news, and this is it just seems like there's so much out there. I don't know what to trust and what's true and not true as well. Bobbi Kristina, which we all know has been in a medically induced coma for 11 days now since January 31st. She was also moved from her first original hospital to Emory Hospital in Atlanta. I think the rumor is now that they were in hopes that Bobbi wanted to move her there because they were in hopes that maybe something that medical team could do something to help her since she's been in the coma. There hasn't been much change. There's been a whole bunch of rumors, especially this week since we celebrated the 3rd year of Whitney's death on Wednesday. Some rumors were saying that Bobbi was going to, pull her off life support this week. He's gone in the media and said that that's not true. She's obviously, if you don't know the full story, which you should by now because it's everywhere, she was found in a bathtub, unresponsive by her, what we thought then was her husband, but is now just her boyfriend, Nick Gordon, and a friend of his, who they tried to resuscitate her. She was unable to be resuscitated. Now the media is also reporting that 4 days prior to her being found in the bathtub, she was also involved in an auto accident where she was driving a friend's Jeep and had lost control of the vehicle, hit another car, and apparently the young man one of the people that she hit, 2 people were really injured. One of them is in serious condition, still in the hospital. They said he's still not doing well. The police are now looking at a criminal investigation towards Nick Gordon because of some lacerations and injuries that were obtained on Bobbi's face Bobbi Kristina's face. So he is the focus of this. This week they also had a candlelight vigil earlier where Bobbi was trying to collect as many prayers as possible for her. They are also saying that there's been a lot of feuding in between the families because one source is saying that on Gordon, what's his name? Nick Gordon's team is saying that he's not allowed to go see Bobbi Kristina. Bobbi Kristina's family is saying that he hasn't shown up at all. They haven't heard any word from him. TMZ reported today and did a full story that's saying that, some were saying he's going to make legal actions towards the family for not being able to get there or get in to see her, but he's saying that it's not true. He did a full sprint in People magazine trying to proclaim his kind of credibility of who he is and that he's sending prayers up to Bobbi Kristina and that he loves
People
her.
magazine spread doesn't make me believe that.
Yeah, I know.
Spread.
A spread, right. So, there's a lot of other facts that are kind of adding up about this, too. Last year, I guess, Bobbi Kristina, her aunt, Pat, obtained a restraining order against Gordon. Mm-hmm. So he's not being painted in the best light. And with all this happening, there's still no change with Bobbi Kristina. What do you guys think about all this craziness that's going on with this story?
Wake up, girl.
Yeah.
Just wake up.
That's all, honestly. It's just I can't even think about, we're ripping Nick Gordon up, we're ripping the families up. It's all we need to be doing right now is sending positive energy and prayer to this girl and surrounding her with love. If this boy loves her, put him around her, because I solely believe in people and energy and feeding that in. And just the fact that this girl has been in a coma for 11 days now. Yeah. And it's really crazy to think that this story is going to go two ways. It's either going to be horrible or it's going to be a miracle. Yeah. And that's just where all the focus should be. To be sitting up here now, she has bruises on her faces and we're throwing it on to paint it on this guy. It's just whatever the situation is, it's happened. And so now, instead of everyone worrying about this, let's put the positive energy into her right now. Because I feel like everyone's doing all this stuff around her and she's just laying up in this bedroom, and it's we're just using her for a Sleeping Beauty marketing campaign. Yeah.
Well, I know that Bobbi had also reported in the news, because they were saying that the doctors have said that they can't do anything about her. So Bobbi had reported that she's doing better. There were rumors about that.
She's opening her eyes.
Yeah, but apparently they're saying that wasn't true. Yeah. That he was just trying to. He didn't want America or the world to give up on her with prayers, which I understand. The only thing is, I said from the beginning that there's something going on with this Nick Gordon story, though, because the police have not said a lot. They haven't made a lot of statements about this. And now, if he's the focus of the investigation, there's clearly something there. And why would her family act so crazy towards him?
Well, they've been acting crazy towards him. They don't like him. It's very apparent, and it's been that way even when they did their little reality show, that they didn't like him. Yeah. And it's maybe not totally unfounded. He may not be the greatest guy on the planet, and who knows. But in the end, they were together. They chose to be together. They were adults. And I don't know, there's never been, as far as we are aware, there are no arrest records for him domestically abusing her. Right. We know she had substance abuse problems. Let the brother hold a hand. Yeah. Because that may be the energy she needs to wake up.
I really believe that, that and that stuff.
Well, this is going to be an interesting story to see how this plays out. It's crazy.
You can't blame her loss on him.
No. Unless there's something more to the story. That's the only thing. We don't know. It
hasn't come out. I don't currently believe that he drowned her or anything.
Yeah, but his friend, the other guy who actually found Bobbi Kristina, he's saying that Nick Gordon was acting a little strange.
Well, yeah, because everyone's going to blame the friend. The reality is probably the friend probably brought drugs over. They did some drugs. They got
in a fight. He left because they had proof or whatever that he was gone overnight or something.
Something like that, yeah.
So it's not like he was there.
Right.
As far as we're aware, they probably got in a fight. she's pissed off on something, and
drugs are involved, clearly.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to get in trouble. Nobody wants to talk this. If the family, I mean, you know what I mean? I could totally see my mother being in the same situation, hating whoever it was, thinking that they're the one that's, you know, infecting me with these drugs. Like, no, bitch, I was there doing it
she
too.
was a user.
You know?
You make me laugh at the uncomfortable
But I'm just
parts
saying,
of the
it's
story.
just, it's a real talk. It's just, let's look at everything and not just try to be parents. I understand your child is in the hospital. Let's look at this reasonably and really understand what the problem was, because I don't think we even knew what the problem was before. I don't think the family even knew what the problem was, clearly, because the only person she was surrounding herself with was Nick Gordon.
Right.
Well,
prayers to the Brown family. Many prayers. Hopefully, Bobbi Kristina can pull through this, because it's just a tragedy all the way around. I want to remind everyone also as well to go to our Buzz Meter question and give us your answer to what musical legend has the most Grammy nominations? A. Stevie Wonder, B. Quincy Jones, C. Michael Jackson, D. Beyonce. We'll read those results next week. Courtney, where can your fans find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stewart Starlet.
Jesse, where can they find you?
DJ Jesse J.
You can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if any of you are Walking Dead fans, you can find me a Sunday night at AfterBuzz for Walking Dead as well. So good starting off last season. We want to thank you guys again for tuning in. We appreciate all the support, and have a great Valentine's Day weekend.
Happy Valentine's
Y'all have fun.
Day.
Be picking my rose petals.
From producers Maria Menounos, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
From producers Maria Menounos, the views expressed here are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.